get started. Today, laying on our backs. You can be completely flat or have your knees bent. Knees knocking together, placing one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And just taking a few moments to tune in really quickly. Bringing your eyes to a close. Relaxing your face muscles and clenching the jaw. Just taking a few moments to breathe. Noticing if the breath is more in the belly or if it's more in the chest. If the breath is long or short. And not necessarily changing anything, but just noticing. And for today's session, just constantly reminding yourself to stay connected to the breath through every moment, pose, transition. And if you just get disconnected or forget, come back to yourself. Take a deep inhale through the nose, filling up the lower belly, the chest, the lungs, all the way to the top. And exhale to release. Good. Inhale through the nose. Fill up. And exhale. Let it all go. Feel free to keep your eyes closed here. Hug the right knee into the chest, interlacing the fingers over the right shin. Give it a little hug. Send the right leg, right foot straight up to the sky. Take a few rounds of the ankle, clockwise and counterclockwise. Deep bend in the knee, foot comes down. Exhale, right foot comes up toward the ceiling. Inhale to bend. Exhale to straighten. Starting out with small, slow, controlled movements. Once more, keeping the leg straight. Let the right leg fall over to the right side just a few inches. Still holding the back of the thigh here. Flexing firmly through those right toes, sending the right ankle straight up toward the sky. Let the right leg come over to the left side, crossing the midline by just a few inches. Keeping that leg as straight as possible. Keep breathing those deep, full belly breaths. Good. Bend the right knee, cross the right ankle over the left knee. Pull the left knee into the chest. You can interlace your hands behind the left shin. Give it a nice little hug. Keeping your legs crossed. You can spread your arms out wide in a T, taking up space if you have the space, and letting the legs and the knees fall over to the left. Keeping the legs crossed, so the right foot comes to touch the ground on the left side. Gaze goes over the right hand. Relaxing the right shoulder down onto the mat. Breathing into the right side of the body, the right rib cage, gentle twist. Good. Next breath, bring your back through center, uncross the legs, hug the left knee into the chest. Interlacing the hands over the left shin. Then send the left leg straight up toward the ceiling. Rotating the ankle, spinning clockwise and counterclockwise. Inhale, bend the left knee, foot comes down. Exhale to straighten the left leg. A few more like that on your own breath. Nice, slow and controlled. Keeping the left leg extended, send the left leg over to the left side of the body, just a few inches. So both hip points are still squared directly onto the mat. And sending the left leg over to the right side, crossing the midline, the belly button just a few inches, keeping that left leg as straight as possible. Toes are flexed, driving up through the ankle. Using your breath to breathe into the tension and tightness, creating more space. Good, deep bend in the left knee, cross the left ankle over the right knee, bring the right knee into the chest, hands interlace over the right shin. Nice little hug. Good, spread your arms out wide, legs, knees, roll over to the right side. Bottom of the left foot makes contact with the ground, gaze goes over the left hand and left shoulder. And breathe. Both shoulder blades are on the floor, relaxing that left shoulder down a little bit more towards the mat. Beautiful. Next breath comes back to center. Both legs are straight up toward the ceiling. Just give it a little shake. And bend the knees. Feet come down onto the mat. Ankles come in towards the sit bone. Arms alongside of your body. Coming into a few rounds of your glute bridges, and then we will hold. So first, setting up, take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, send the hips straight up towards the ceiling, driving through the pelvic bone. And inhale to come down. Exhale to lift. Inhale, slowly come down. Exhale to lift. And we'll go for 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up at the top this time, rolling the shoulders underneath yourself, interlacing the fingers, and then pressing the forearms into the ground as you lift the hips just a little bit higher. Deep inhale through the nose, and exhale, slowly come out of it, one vertebrae at a time. Send the feet out long towards each corner of the mat, arms come overhead, starfish. Reaching out to all 4 corners of the mat, taking up space, making yourself big, as if it's the first stretch of the morning. Maybe it is. Reach, reach, reach. Deep inhale And exhale, hug the knees into the chest, wrapping your arms around yourself. Maybe your hands grab and wrap around the elbows. And then take a few rock and roll back and forth, massaging out the spine. Making your way all the way forward to all fours, hands and knees. Tabletop. Setting yourself up. If you have your blocks, you can measure yourself out for that 90-degree angle. And just take a few rounds of cats and cows, warming up the spine. Roll up the head, the neck, shoulders, from side to side. Keep it going. Then plant the palms about one palm print in front of you. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Pedaling it out, bringing one ankle down to the mat at a time, opening up the backs of the legs, the calves. Now walk your feet to the edges of the mat here. So you're taking a wide-legged stance. And then walk the hands all the way back towards the feet. Maybe your feet pivot out to the edges of the mat about 45 degrees. Deep squat, feet comes down, Malasana. Hands come to a prayer by your chest. Elbows push into the inner thigh so your heart comes through. Maybe you can rock from side to side. Those hips are tight. Plant the hands out in front of you. Walk it all the way forward to your plank. Lift the right arm, look forward, and release. Lifting the left arm, look forward, engaging the core, and release. Walk the hands all the way back, coming through your Malasana squat. Staying here, right hand comes out to the right side. Left arm comes all the way up towards the ceiling, gaze goes up to the left hand. Big open stretch. Sending the breath all the way down to the lower belly. And switch. Left arm comes all the way out to the left side. Right arm straight up towards the ceiling, gaze goes up. Beautiful, and back towards center. Walk the hands all the way forward, coming back through your plank once more. Inhale, lifting the right arm, look forward, and release. Left arm comes up, look forward, and release. Once more, walk it all the way back into your squat. Right arm comes out to the right, left arm comes straight up. Option to stay here, or option to bend the left elbow, bring the left hand behind the back, and maybe you grab for the inside of your right thigh, or maybe you find that bind, bending the right elbow and finding your left hand behind that right leg. Gaze goes up. Beautiful, other side, and switch. Left arm comes out to the left, right arm straight up. Stay here, or you can try to find that bind. Wrapping your arms around the left leg, rotating and twisting the heart and the chest up towards the ceiling. And release through center. Walk the hands all the way back. Feet come back in line with the hips, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. Inhale, pull it all the way forward to your plank or up dog, keeping the hips lifted, knees lifted. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. This time we'll walk our feet towards the hands, Coming all the way forward to our forward fold. Measuring out 2 fists width distance between the feet. Take a deep bend in the knees and fold forward. You can grab for opposite elbows or interlace your hands behind your head and your neck. Shifting the weight forward towards the balls of your feet to release any tension in the lower back. Release the hands down. Place the left hand straight down on the mat underneath the face. Inhale, right arm comes up towards the ceiling, deep bend in the left knee. Exhale, swim the right arm down. Right hand comes down to the mat. Inhale, left arm straight up, opening the chest towards the side of the room, deep bend in the right knee. Exhale, swim left arm down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right arm down. Inhale, left arm up. Once more on each side. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Exhale, stay in the forward fold. Next inhale brings us all the way up to stand 1 vertebrae at a time, as slowly as possible. Take a few rolls of the shoulders back. Inhale, both arms reach up and overhead. Interlace the fingers, palms up toward the ceiling. Exhale, lean to the right. Gaze goes up. Slight back bend. Inhale through center. Exhale over to the left side. Opening up the right side of the body. Inhale through center. Exhale, dive through, coming into your forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift to look forward. Exhale, fold. Walk the right leg back, left leg back, downward facing dog. I'm just taking a moment here to formalize the dog, spreading all 10 fingertips wide on the mat, pushing away from your shoulders, out of your shoulders. The arms are totally engaged. Ears are in line with the biceps, gaze is slightly forward. Deep bend in the knees. It's okay if the heels are off the mat. Lifting the sit bones up a little bit higher. On the next inhale, we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand and lift our right arm straight up toward the ceiling, opening the chest to the side of the room. Exhale, hand comes down, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step left foot to the outside of the left hand lifts, open up. Exhale, left arm down, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot to the outside of the right hand, open up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot outside of left hand, lifting left arm, open up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a few more rounds on your own breath, starting to build that heat in the body, opening up the hips through these slow and controlled movements, the core. Keep it going, maybe you speed it up if you're feeling that extra energy today. Good, once more on each side. Meeting you back in your downward facing dog. This time, inhale to step the right foot to the right thumb, so inside of the right hand. Tap the left knee down, untuck the left toes. Arms come up and overhead. Anjaneyasana. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Broaden the collarbones, gaze lifts, slight back bend. Hands come to heart center. Inhale to lift the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, lifting out of the hips. Exhale, twisting over to the right, hook left elbow over the right knee, gaze over the right shoulder. Imagining your body on a spit from your tailbone to the crown of your head, and you're just spinning along this line of energy. Beautiful, one more breath. And release the hands down to frame the right foot. Straighten out that right leg, seat comes back. Inhale, rebend, look forward. Exhale, extend to sit it back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, extend. Hands come back underneath the shoulders, keeping those toes flexed firmly toward the ceiling. Windshield wipe the right feet from side to side. And finding center, keep the left hand straight on the mat as you inhale, right arm straight up. Arms in a completely straight line in a T, gaze goes up towards the ceiling. Bringing the awareness back towards the breath. Keeping the breath long and steady. Beautiful, bring the right arm back down. Rebend the right knee. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, step it back into your plank. And lower all the way down to the mat in one piece. Untuck the toes, tops of the feet press into the mat. Tent up onto the fingertips, hands come a little bit wider than the width of the mat. Inhale, lift head, chin, and shoulders for a low cobra variation. Exhale, right shoulder, right ear comes down to the center of the mat. Inhale through center. Exhale, left side down. Inhale, center. Exhale, right side down. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. And release all the way down to the mat. Staying here for a moment. Hands come underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the knees, push back into your plank in one piece. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. Next inhale, step the left foot to the left thumb, look forward, tap the right knee down, untuck the right toes. Inhale, sweep arms up and overhead, Anjaneyasana on the left side. Activating through the fingertips, gaze lifts, heart opens, shoulders drop. Good, hands come to heart center. Inhale, crown of the head comes up towards the ceiling, lifting out of the hips. And exhale, twisting over to the left side, hooking right elbow over the left knee, gaze goes over the left shoulder. Take a few rounds of breath here. Beautiful. On the next breath, hands come down to frame the left foot, straighten out that left leg, feet comes back. Inhale, rebend the left knee, look forward. Exhale, straighten left leg, flex the toes. Inhale to bend. And exhale, extend, staying here. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Windshield wipe the left foot from side to side. Finding center, keep the right hand down, lift the left arm straight up towards the ceiling. Reconnecting to the breath, using the breath to create more space. Maybe breathing into the tightness on the outer edge of the left leg. Beautiful, release the left arm down. Rebend left knee, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, step back, downward facing dog. Pushing the mat away from you, slight bend in the knees, lift the hips. Deep inhale through the nose, and exhale, bring the knees down to the mat. He comes back, untuck the toes, child's pose. Resting the forehead down onto the mat. Relaxing the space in between the eyebrows. And then just for a moment, lift the head as you thread the right arm, right hand directly underneath the left, creating a figure 4 with both arms here. And then relaxing the head back onto the mat. Deep shoulder stretch. Beautiful, and switch. Right arm comes straight out in front of you as you thread the left arm underneath the right. And extend the left hand straight out in front of you. Child's pose, walking the fingertips a little bit farther forward. With the head, pull the weight forward as you tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, sweep the right leg straight up and back, bend the right knee, open up the right hip, take a few circles with the right knee on the ceiling. Clockwise and counterclockwise. Can make these circles big or small. Re-extend the right leg straight, three-legged dog, square the hips, step the right foot to the right thumb, look forward. First, finding your balance here. Both feet are pointing straight towards the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead for your high lunge. Tucking your tailbone under you, making sure your torso is straight, knitting your rib cage in. Inhale, reach the fingers up towards the sky. Exhale, open up towards the right side of the room. Deep bend in the right knee, gazes over the right shoulder. Beautiful, one more breath. And then let the right hand fall down the left leg as the left arm comes up and overhead. Open up and reach. Yep, Sophia, that's it. And then just look up towards the ceiling. Yeah, you got it. And then cartwheel the hands all the way forward to frame the right foot, extend the right leg and fold forward. Inhale to rebend right knee, look forward, low lunge. Exhale to fold and extend. Inhale to bend. And exhale, extend. Stay here. Left hand is in line with the right foot. Keep the left hand on the mat as you inhale, right arm straight up towards the ceiling. Keep twisting from the base of the spine, so not just your shoulders or your neck. For reverse triangle pose. One more breath here. Swim the right hand all the way back down, and then walk both hands to the center of the mat. In between the legs, pivot your feet so they're parallel to one another. Walk the hands long out in front of you. And we're just gonna bend one knee and the other, shifting our weight from side to side. Getting nice and low. Beautiful. Finding center, walking the hands all the way to the back of the mat. Hands are inside of the left foot, heel toe, left foot to the left side of the mat. Here in our lizard pose. The option to stay here or option to rotate the hips around in the lizard pose. Making small and subtle movements if that's what feels good for your body today. Rotating it to the other side. Finding center, sweep the left leg all the way back, coming through your plank. Lower it down to the mat in one piece, untuck the toes. Inhale, lift head, chin, and chest. Low cobra, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Shoulder blades are hugging behind your back. Exhale, release all the way down. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, engage the core, push back into your plank. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a few rounds of breath here to reset. Coming back to your breath. Tuning back in with yourself. Next breath, sweep the left leg straight up and back. Bend the left knee, open up the left hip. Take a few circles, clockwise and counterclockwise. Extend the left leg straight up, square the hips, look out in front of you. Step the left foot to the left thumb, look forward, finding your balance. Before sweeping the hands forward and up, high lunge on the left side. Tucking the tailbone, knitting the rib cage in. Core is engaged, arms reach up and overhead. Inhaling to reach. Exhale, open both arms up to the left side. Arms coming out wide in a T. So it's the other way. Yeah, yes, Linnea, you got that. So Sophia, it's the other way. Jenny, it's the other way. So you're twisting the opposite direction towards the left leg. Beautiful. And then let the left arm slide down the right leg as the right hand comes up and overhead. Yes. Beautiful, everybody. And then cartwheel the hands all the way forward to frame the left leg, straighten that left leg out. Both hips are squared. Inhale to rebend, left knee, look forward. Exhale, extend and fold. Inhale, bend, look forward. Exhale to fold. Staying here. Right hand stays on the mat in line with the left foot. Inhale, left arm straight up towards the ceiling. So you're feeling a deep stretch on the outer edge of the left leg. And then Sophia, you can shorten your stance so it's a little bit easier. And then both legs should be straight as possible. Yeah. Keep breathing. And release the left hand down to the mat. Walk the hands through center, bringing both feet with you. Feet are parallel to one another. Walk the hands in line with the feet this time and fold. Letting the head hang heavy. Maybe you sway the torso from side to side. Relaxing the neck, the shoulders, unclenching the jaw. Pressing firmly through the outer edges of the feet. Take a few more rounds of breath here. Then lifting halfway, walking back towards the front of the mat. Hands are inside of the right foot this time, heel toe right foot towards the right edge of the mat. Option just to stay here in your lizard pose, or if you want, you can take a few circles of the hips, clockwise and counterclockwise. Any movements that feel good to you today. Beautiful, one more breath. Finding center, sweep the right leg all the way back. Plank pose, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Deep inhale through the nose, and exhale, release the knees down to the mat, untuck the toes, child pose. Flip the palms up toward the ceiling. Lay the forehead down onto the mat. Maybe you rock your forehead from side to side, massaging out the space in between the eyebrows. Watching the breath. Once more, deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out to the mouth. Flip the palms. Come forward, tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Both of the feet come together, big toes come to touch, deep bend in the knees, look forward. Maybe a few or one small hop to the front of the mat and fold. Keeping both feet together. Take a deep bend in the knees, feet come all the way back. As you peel the chest up, arms lift, chair pose. Tailbone is down, take a deeper bend in the knees. Hands come to heart center. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twist over to the right, hooking left elbow over the right knee. Gaze lifts. Really pushing that elbow into the knee, knee into the elbow, so you can rotate the chest towards the side of the room. Beautiful. Shift the weight into the right foot, the right leg, as you lift the left leg and send it all the way back through your low lunge in a twist. Yes. So you can stay here, or you can open the arms all the way out. And maybe you try to go for that bind, finding your hands underneath that right leg. But wherever you are, stay connected to the breath. Good, one more inhale. And exhale, hands come down to frame the right foot. Sweep the right leg all the way back. Three-legged dog. Stay here, or walk the hands all the way back to that left foot. Right leg is lifted. Option to play with your standing split, placing one hand or both hands on the left ankle. Keeping your gaze out in front of you. So you're not looking behind you, because then that's where you'll go. And then slowly walk the hands all the way forward, coming through your plank. Zip the legs together, feet come together, heels come together. Shift the weight onto the outer edge of the right foot. Lift the left arm, side plank. Maybe the left hand comes up and overhead, lifting the hips just a few more inches, open up, and exhale, left arm down, knees come down, child's pose. Take a moment, take a beat, take a breath. And right on to the next thing, the next side, pull it forward, lift the hips, lift the knees, downward facing dog. Feet come together, look forward, one hop or a few hops to the front of the mat and fold. Big toes are still touching, deep bend in the knees, seat comes back behind you as if you're sitting in an imaginary chair. Peel the chest open, arms come up and overhead, chair pose. Hands come to heart center. Inhale to lengthen the spine, shoulders drop away from the ear. And exhale, twist over to the left side, hooking right elbow on the outside of the left knee. And really pushing that elbow into the knee to bring the heart towards the side of the room. Shift the weight into the left foot, the left leg, as you lift the right foot and send it all the way back into your low lunge twist. Challenging yourself to stay with it. And again, you have 3 options here. So if this feels good, stay here. If you want to take it a step further, open up the arms. And if you fall out, just get right back in. And option 2, find that bind with the arms. So Jenny, you're twisting the other way. Other way. So your legs are great. Yeah, yes, you got it. Beautiful. Okay, hands come down to frame the left leg, left foot. Sweep the left leg all the way back, 3-legged dog. Option to stay here. And second option to walk the hands all the way back to the right foot. Left leg is still lifted. And you can play with your balance, bringing one hand or both hands to the right leg, finding that one point of focus on the mat in front of you, using your breath to stay steady. And when you're good, you can walk your hands back to the front of the mat, coming through your plank, zip the legs together, heels together, toes together. Weight comes to the outer edge of the left foot. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. And maybe right hand comes up and overhead, lifting the hips a little bit more, creating a nice long arc. And right hand comes back down, knees come down to the mat, child's pose. Recenter, reconnect. Keep your forearms on the ground right where they are, so they're parallel to one another. Lift the hips, tuck the toes, lift the knees, coming into your dolphin pose. So it's like a downward facing dog, but on your forearms. Walk the feet in as close as you can to your elbows. And you can stay here. Maybe you lift your right leg and left leg. Drop the knees down to the mat. Child's pose. Really reaching forward with the fingertips. Armpits are lifted. Lift the forehead, look forward, and just slide the hands, the arms forward as you lift the hips up towards the ceiling for your puppy pose. Huge chest opener here, opening up the shoulders. Letting your heart come down towards the ground. Beautiful. And then just slide it right on back to your child's pose. Tuck the toes underneath you. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg straight up and back. Exhale, right knee to right wrist, coming through your pigeon on the right side. Look back behind you, make sure that leg is straight. Sitting up nice and tall. And keeping the length in the spine. Walk forward any amount. Maybe you can create a palm pillow for the head. Not holding any tension in the neck or the shoulders. Taking a few rounds of breath here. Deep, full belly breaths. And whenever you're ready, you can slowly walk yourself back up to sit. Tucking the toes behind you, lifting the back knee, stepping back into your downward facing dog. Inhale to lift the left leg straight up and back. Look forward. Exhale, left knee to left wrist, bringing the shin down on a diagonal. Right leg is straight out behind you, untucking those toes, sitting up nice and tall, not leaning into that left hip, but you're very much centered here. Keeping the length of the spine, walk the hands out any amount, bringing the forehead and chest down to the mat. And again, releasing any unnecessary tension in the neck, the shoulders, the face, the arms. Let this be a restorative pose. Breathing deep, full breaths. And whenever you're ready, slowly push your way back up to sit. Staying on the ground, sweep that back leg in front. Both legs come straight out in front of you. Give it a little shake. Bend the left knee, left ankle comes in towards the right sit bone as you cross the right foot, right ankle over the left knee.